To all my bookish lesbians out there, this is for you. I got you. Hello my lovely readers and queers, welcome back to my channel. I am Franny, and in today's video, in honor of Lesbian Visibility Week, I will be recommending you books featuring lesbian characters. These are all books that I've read recently, so I have talked about them previously on my channel at some point, and since I actually have only a few hours to film and edit this video before leaving for a weekend getaway with wifey, I need to be super quick. This is not a wrap-up, it's just a book recommendation video. I want to challenge myself to make it feel almost like an Instagram reel. I want to go through all these books super quick, and yes, I am filming this at the end of April and I am wearing a scarf and a sweater inside the house, and that is because if you live in Italy, I don't know about the rest of Europe, but if you live in Italy, you know that winter has come back, and yours truly here is a broadcast bitch that refuses to turn on the heating at the end of April, so ignore it. Let's talk about the books. I have divided my book recommendations into categories depending on the genre of the book, so let us begin with romance books. Just As You Are by Camille Kellogg. This is a contemporary romance novel set in New York. We follow our main character, who is a writer slash journalist for an online queer magazine, and she ends up falling in love with her new boss, the woman who has just acquired the online magazine and basically saved it from bankruptcy. It is a Pride and Prejudice retelling. It has so many queer characters. There's feminism, women power, intersectionality, and friendship, love, everything you could possibly ever need for a romance contemporary, so definitely recommend. Here We Go Again by Alison Cochrane. I've talked about this in my March wrap-up, so if you want to know more, there's the video you need to go and watch. This is an enemies to lovers romance. It features a gay death road trip, so you know, a lot of great buzzwords right there. It has everything. It is sad, it is funny, it is humorous. Alison Cochrane can do no wrong. Not in the Plan by Dana Hawkins. This book came out this year. It's Dana Hawkins' debut, and Dana Hawkins is definitely on my radar now as a queer romance author of sapphic books. This one was very well written, so sweet and fun to read. It has great rep in terms of queer representation and also neurodiversity representation. I think both characters are lesbians, and we follow a love story between a mystery writer and her new muse who owns a bakery called Sugar Mugs, which is just so sweet. Dana Hawkins has also written another companion novel in the series called In Walked Trouble. I have just read it. It was not as good as Not in the Plan, according to yours truly, but still a very good, solid sapphic romance, and I still recommend it, even though it was not the best. And now moving on to contemporary novels. Of course, the first one that I have to mention is Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead. I've talked about this again in my March wrap-up, so that's the video you need to go and watch, seriously. It is very dark, it is very irreverent, there are so many great quotes. All I want to say here is that if you need a great book that is going to change your life, go and read it. Wild Things by Laura Kay. This is about four queer friends. I mean, not all of them were queer, but most of them were queer. It is about four friends who decided to move to the countryside in the UK and buy a house together. And our main protagonist is in love with one of the friends who she is living with in this house, so we have a shared house sort of romance situation. It is not a romance per se, even though there is a love interest component, but I really liked it and I recommend it. Iona Iverson's Rules for Commuting by Claire Pooley. Iona Iverson is a bold, quirky, old lesbian lady, and she was just great. I loved this book so much. It is about this cast of characters meeting on the train because they commute at the same time and they get into each other's business, and it was so much fun. I loved it. Moving on to the mystery genre, I only have one book to recommend to you. Well, it's actually a series of 4 books that are out so far, so it's actually 4 books in one if you think about it, which is a great deal if you ask me. And that book is Fortune Favors the Dead by Stephen Spotswood. This is a great mystery series set in New York in the 1940s. First book is Fortune Favors the Dead, then we have Murder on Her Skin. Then there's Secrets Typed in Blood, and then Murder Crossed Her Mind. They're all great. This series is way too underrated. And the last category I have for you is fantasy, paranormal, and sci-fi. Gwen and Art Are Not in Love by Lex Croucher. I read this book in January and it was the best book that I read that month. This is a YA queer retelling of the Arthurian legends, and as the title says, Gwen and Art are not in love because they're both gay. This book is so well written, it has a lot of teen drama, and I'm just here for it. It has great characters, great banter, and if you haven't read it yet, you need to pick it up immediately. Among Thieves by MJ Kun. This is the first book in a duology, so if you want to read a fantasy series with queer characters and a lesbian main character, and you do not want to commit to a 7-10 books long series because you cannot, come through with that commitment, like yours truly, so no shame there. This is perfect for you. You only have 2 books and then it's over, and you get to read a great fantasy series with a female lead that is not your stereotypical, beautiful, gorgeous, unblemished woman, a goddess-looking model walking the earth that has no scars from the many fights that she's been in. In this book, we have an actual female badass. I want to say that is Italian mafia inspired. If you like fantasy books with great characters, great banter, great dialogues, political intrigue, action, this is the book for you. Look no further. The Mimicking of Known Successes by Malka Older. This is a sci-fi novella that I would recommend to anyone and everyone who has watched and loved the BBC adaptation of Sherlock. There's actually a murder mystery at the core of it, so it could also go under the mystery genre. And the romantic relationship between the 2 main characters is not at the forefront, but it's, an underlining nice little story plot. And actually there's already a sequel out, which is The Imposition of Impossible Things. Wait, Unnecessary Obstacles. I was not close at all. There's a sequel out that I have to read yet because I'm waiting for the audiobook, but that sequel is The Imposition of Unnecessary Obstacles, and I cannot wait. I want to see, what happens next. And last but not least, I have to recommend Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. This is an urban fantasy paranormal book for adults that is a huge FU to J.K. Rowling. So we love that. I love that. I'm here for it. It is filled with diversity and queer characters and feminism, real feminism, JK. And it is such a great series that will appeal to those people whose life has been ruined by the words of a woman that should have shut the fuck up. This is the hug you need. This is the rage you need. This is the outlet you need. This is the story you need in your life. There's a sequel out, The Shadow Cabinet. There's a prequel that is coming out this summer, which is called Queen Bee. And there's an actual 3rd sequel coming out, I think sometime next year. So this is definitely a longer series. It is a bit of a commitment if you want to start reading it, but it is totally worth it. More than other 7 books long series, if you know what I mean. And this is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching it. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you have read any of these books, if you like them, and please leave in the comments down below some recommendations of books that feature lesbian characters, because there are never going to be enough books featuring lesbian characters. We need more lesbians. So thank you so much for watching it. I will see you very soon in another video. Until then, have a good one, take care, and keep reading queer books. Bye! Warm hugs! Okay.